Wake up, O soul, be clothed in power divine. Wait not, O soul, be nourished in the vine.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Ame Emmanuel Dotigbe, and I'm with my colleagues again this hour, and they are by names: Brother Dami, Abioye, Sister Temi Akinslere, and Brother Aduza Adams. Once again,
Thank you, sir.
you are welcome once again. So we are here again on the platform of Wake Up to Reality Movement, where we'll be helping you to know things that you need to know about life. And right about now, we are bringing to you a very important topic, and the title is Becoming Who You Are. Becoming who you are is very important in the sense that it is a key to your what? To your stardom and to your purpose. And I will start by telling us a little story about a young girl, which I paid a visit to the house 2 months ago. This young girl, it was on her birthday. She's just a girl of 7. And I listened to the conversation between her and her cousin sister. And this is how it goes. The cousin sister was telling her that, Grace, you are a baby. I was just looking at her, the way she was responding. Grace said, I'm not a baby. The cousin sister said, if you are not a baby, then why are you small? Grace said, this is just an image. I am an adult. An adult? And you are small? What I picked from there was that becoming who you have to think what? Like what? Like God. Are you getting my point now? Because sometimes when your thinking pattern can limit you. And that was why the little girl looked into herself. She noticed the way she speaks, the way she acts, and she acts like an adult. So she told us, this is just an image. But when you look within me, you can find the spirit of an adult. Alright, we can see in the Bible the story of Gideon. The story of Gideon got me bothered a little bit. When I studied the story of Gideon in the Bible, I discovered that the limiting factor to him becoming who he is was just something little. And those factors also have become a limiting factors to many people out there. And what are those things? In the call to Gideon, it was mentioned that he was a great man of valor. What are the limitations to his becoming who he's supposed to be? They are just simply, he just mentioning them, and I was surprised. He said, I'm the least in my family, meaning he might be the last born. And also, he's mentioning that their family is the least family in the entire clan. And I sat down and I think about it. That, can those things be a limiting factor to one's becoming who he is? And I see that it's based on your understanding and what you think about yourself. You see? Alright, Sister Temi, please can you just put more light to what we are talking about in the house this?
Okay, thank you. According to the story of Gideon you shared with us, he pointed that he was a mighty man of valor, and he was not even aware that he's a mighty man of valor.
That can be terrible.
So that brings us to the topic that says become. When we talk about becoming is not something that just happens. Becoming involves processes. We don't just wake up one morning and you say, I have become this. It's in stages, sequential stages. There are things you need to do per time to become. Looking at the story of Jabez in the Bible. Jabez, according to the Bible recorded that Jabez, his mother bore him in pain, and that was why she even named him Jabez. He passed through so many things. He was born at the time of tribulation. He was born at the time of pain. And then Jabez did not say, because this is what I was born into, this is what I become, this is what I accept to become. He rose up and cried to God in prayer, steps by step, step by step. He did not just accept that I've been born into this kind of family, and so this is what has become of me, this is what I have become. But then he understood that becoming doesn't just happen. Becoming is in stages, is in processes. And we can see what God made out of his life after the prayer and everything. Also, looking at one of our fathers, our very, very good fathers in faith, that's Daddy Adeboye. He was born into a family that had nothing. They had nothing. And he wanted to be educated. He just wanted to, he wanted to be successful. After his primary and secondary education that his parents could even barely afford, he did not just sit down and say, this is what I've become of me. Truly, deep down within me, I want to be great, but these are the conditions surrounding my greatness, and just accept the fact that, okay, I cannot become what I am. I cannot become what I'm supposed to be. But then, step by step, his father had to sell goats. These are steps to becoming. He had to be diligent. He was best graduating student in his class. He went further for his masters. You know, these are steps by step stages in becoming.
Thank you very much, Sister Temi. Jabez's experience is even more, it's more confusing than that of Gideon. Jabez was in the epicenter of what? Of demonic oppression from the utterance that was made by what? By his mother. But when you look at the life of Gideon, it's just what he was thinking about himself. But Jabez was in entire darkness. Thank you very much, Sister Temi. So at this point in time, I want our brother Adams to help us again to point out some examples that will help us to really understand it. Thank you very much.
All right, I will just bring our attention down to the process of becoming. All right, the process of becoming, you cannot become, without facing challenges. All right, the person I'm going to talk about is Caleb. It was very interesting because the challenge facing Caleb was age, the problem of age. Caleb was 85. You see, when God called him and he said he was 40, as at when the land was promised to him, God said, "This is what you get, everything." But as at 85, he had not gotten it, and then it was the time to work out that inheritance. But it was not faced by the age. So your becoming should not be dependent on your age. No matter where you are, you can still attain that goal. You can still get there. All right. Another example, which is a more secular example, is Ellen Keller. And this at 19 months old, 19 months old, she was deaf, she was blind, and she was dumb. All right, that's a massive challenge, but she became the first deaf blind person to earn a bachelor's degree in
That's
Harvard.
great.
All right, so that challenges are nothing. Your process of becoming, no matter the challenge you face, you can still become.
The point being raised in the houses are just getting me more stronger and encouraged. But he talked about a 19-month-old baby that was in darkness of being deaf, dumb, and no limitations like that. But we can listen to what he said. He became the best deaf person to do what, sir?
To earn a bachelor's degree.
To earn a bachelor's degree. You see, that's wonderful. She was not limited. So very quickly again, Rodami here will us with some examples of people that have been one time limited but still became who they are.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, as we've already heard from the previous speakers, that becoming is actually in stages, and one of the steps in becoming who you are is actually knowing who you are. Ask yourself the question: who am I? Am I a doctor? Am I a lawyer? Am I small? Am I big? What are you basing your identity on? At every point in our life, we should always base our identity on not what we can actually do by ourselves, but on what God sees us as. We've actually been created by God to fulfill some kind of purpose in this life. So our identity should be deeply rooted in not what we see ourselves as, but what God sees us as. Take a look at the life of Jeremiah. Jeremiah was actually created to be a prophet, but when it was time for him to fulfill the purpose, that's the reason why God actually created him. He said, "I am just a boy." He saw himself not in the light of what God sees him as. He saw himself as just as what he is. In every time we want to actually claim an identity, anytime we want to identify ourselves, we should always base our identity on what God sees us as. Basing our identity on family, career, age, those are actually not stable factors. They can change. Your age today, you're going to be another age tomorrow. You're the firstborn in your family. Anything can happen. You might notice that your dad had a child before, and you were the first before. Now you become the second. So actually actually defining yourself according to those factors are actually unstable. We should always learn to identify ourselves with a more stable factor, which is the God factor. Another factor that limits us from becoming who we are is actually allowing past experiences to actually define us. Imagine, Thomas Edison, he was a famous inventor. He invented the light bulb. When a reporter asked him, how did he feel when he failed 999 times before he actually got it right on the 1000th attempt? He said it didn't fail 999 times, that it only took 999 steps.
Serious.
So imagine if he had quitted, if he had allowed his past experiences to actually define him. He won't be the man that invented the light bulb. You won't even know him at all. So we should always allow past experiences to actually be a build-up to root our identity.
Thank you, Brother Mi. You have really pointed out examples that we can actually learn from this morning. I really appreciate you. So, as we are coming to the end of the show, end of the talk, I want to say to the viewers all around the world that becoming who you are is very important and is a key factor for you walking into your purpose. What am I trying to say in the sense that what you think about yourself is not even does not round up what you can become. So I want us as from today to always see ourselves from the perspective of God. But the fact that He said He has plans for us to give us an expected end. So when you are trying and you are failing, please don't stop. Continue. One day will come, and that thing you wanted to become, you will surely become it. So God will help every one of us. And I thank you for giving us time to listen to us. And we will be coming next time with a very interesting topic. But just wait, we'll bring it up. So I want to appreciate also my colleague in the house. I really appreciate your coming.
Wake up, O soul, be clothed in power divine. Wait not, O soul, be nourished in the vine. By faith lay hold of glory from above. Be fully armed with fervent zeal and love. The autumn's here, and fields of work are great.